Hello and welcome to Social Media 101 Business Basics. My name is Maria McGowan. I am a social media consultant with a background in marketing communications. I coach, I train, I manage social media for businesses, and I am thrilled to be speaking with you today. We're going to be covering a lot of content, so let's get started. Social media. I just want to talk to you about really why it is so important to be using social media today. Because social media, it allows you to gain valuable insights to your audiences, where you can use that information to make smarter business decisions. And when you have a presence on social media, you make it easier for your customers to find and connect with you. And if you aren't on social media, most of your customers expect you to be. And I highly recommend, if you're not on social media yet as a business, you really should be. So just as an intro of what we're going to be covering, because in the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to be covering a lot of ground. So I'm going to briefly show you how to set up your social media account. And then once you have it set up, you're going to be wondering what you should post and when, and I'm going to let you know how. You can use social media in an ethical and responsible manner. And we're going to look at the day-to-day ongoing management of having a social media account. So here we go. We're going to set you up, and this is very quick. If you have any questions, you can contact me later and I can help you get set up and on your way. There are 5 social media accounts or social media platforms that are sanctioned by CBDC. The first one is Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Now first, we're going to talk about Facebook and how you can quickly set that up. Think of Facebook as a page or as an extension of your business. It's an easy way to share updates with your business audience. To create a page from your Facebook account, it's really quite simple. You just need to click on the arrow in the top right-hand corner and choose Create Page. You need to have a Facebook account in order to set up a Facebook page. You can't have one without the other. You really need to have the account first, and then you go into Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook and you need to have a Facebook page for business, you need to set up an account. Then Facebook wants to know where to place you in what category. And it gives you all types of options and that you can select. So in your case, I would select company, organization, or institution. Then you want to optimize. This is where you can start connecting. This is where you're given the wireframe, the basic template for a Facebook page, where you can add an image, you can add a description, you can add your header, you can add your website information. Tell everybody about who you are and what you do. And if you want to, you can upload a profile picture from your computer or your device. Click Save Info, and your page is ready to go. You're in Facebook business. So for Twitter, it's a lot easier to do this than on Facebook. But if you want to go to Twitter, create account, this is what the page looks like. You fill in your name, your phone number, or your email and your password. If you fill out your phone, it'll ask you if it's a mobile phone, because they will send you a text to verify that this is you. Or if you sign up by email, they'll send you an email to verify that it is you. And then you set up your username and off you go. You can add your image, and it's important to select a username that is easily recognizable and people know that it is your organization. For example, so this is what the basic template of Twitter looks like. So username, make sure is one that's easily recognizable. Choose a profile picture that represents your brand or your business, because it's a small space. Sometimes icons here look really well, because an image with a lot of detail won't show up very clearly. You have 160 characters to let people know who you are. So choose your words carefully. And you have also room up here for our header image as well. And consider this as the billboard for your business, where you can swap it out, and you can swap it out every month or so, or when you have a special event that's going on. You can also pin a tweet. Pin tweet is where you can lock it to the top, so if people enter your profile, it will tell people, it'll point the most important tweet that you want to save at the top. Google Plus. Google is interesting because it is aligned with Google search engine, and which owns Google Plus. So whatever you have in Google Plus will show up in your page rankings. It's pretty easy to set this up too. When you're in Google, click on the top right-hand corner, click on Google Plus, see the red G, click on there, and it will take you to here. And you can have 3 options. I would recommend that you choose the brand. Then it will take you to this page here. Choose your page name very carefully. Make sure you have your website in here as well. And of course, the product or brand is already selected for you. It's a wonderful place. And a lot of people say Google is dying. I don't think so. I really think it's important for organic search results because it's so closely aligned with Google. So if people are searching for your organization, the Google Plus page will also show up as well. Make sure you share information that you would on Facebook and Twitter once in a while to keep it fresh. LinkedIn is an important asset for your organization. It works the same as Facebook. You need to have a LinkedIn account for yourself personally before you can set up a company page. Very simple, very easy. Treat it the same as you would with Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus. Share information where you can share updates, perhaps, but it's more of a business angle. It's not a personal angle. So everything that you post on LinkedIn, because the audience is very business heavy, make sure it's topical with that business audience. Instagram. I love Instagram. It's a lot of fun. There's 2 ways to do it. You can log in from your Facebook to create an account, or you can create it just straight from your email. Make sure you choose your username very carefully because this is how people will know you and recognize you. So make sure you only have so many characters. So be very clever and choosy in what you select as a username. It's mainly set up for mobile, for smartphones. It's not really all that great for desktop. I guess that's the fun of Instagram. It's for taking pictures. It's very visual. You can have a lot of fun with it from a business angle as well. So now that you have these accounts set up, maybe you have 1 or 2 that are set up that you're going to focus on, whichever. You're still going to be able to You still need to know how to conduct yourself and how to represent your organization. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about how to use social media in an ethical and responsible manner. The Internet of Things. Now more than ever, monitoring and managing your online reputation is more important than ever. So one exercise to go through is to look at your organization from outside looking in. How do you look like to a stranger? Meaning, if you already have a Facebook account, what does that account look like to somebody who doesn't know who you are? Is it boring? Is it non-informational? Is it non-existent? Are you missing some really important pieces of the pie that maybe you should add in there? So really have a 360-degree look at your social media accounts and kind of maybe even ask for some feedback on how they should look. You also have some guidelines that have been pointed out to you as well, which you can follow, which will be really helpful. So back in the 1950s or earlier, 1960s, companies could just put anything out there that they wanted to say, and they would put it out through newspapers or billboards, magazines, and everybody trusted the big corporations. Well, it's a little different now. Social media has come along and the internet, and now people are a little bit less trustworthy of corporations and the big guys, as we already know. And that is the power of social media. Now the consumer has the power rather than the business having the power of the communication. So the tables have really turned, and keep that in mind. You need to earn people's trust. So negativity spreads like wildfire, as we know. So any content that's positive or negative, it impacts how people view you. So step back and have a look at what you're posting or what you're about to post and what that's going to look. It's a part of your organizational strategy or your business plan. Make sure it's all aligned. Play nice. I say this all the time. I have 2 teenagers. I always tell them to play nice. Behave online the same way as you would offline. Text can be easily misinterpreted. Sometimes we get an email, we read it the wrong way when the person sending the email is like, I didn't say that at all. I really meant this. Because text is so one-dimensional, it can be easily misinterpreted. So make sure you are posting and giving it a little bit of a second thought. So think before you post, professionally and personally, because you're representing your organization, even if you are personally as well. An angry status or emotional tweet, sometimes you might think, ooh, that person should have thought again. Maybe that person was having a really bad day. So sometimes you can really be observant to see how people behave themselves online. You can probably learn some lessons for yourself. So what should you post and when? You have these accounts. You're really wondering, okay, what do I post? Here's what I recommend. Post what you think would be interesting and helpful to your audience. There's a lot of noise out there where people are just scrolling. People are skimming. They're not reading. But if there was something interesting and valuable to them, they're going to take notice of it a lot more. So posts with images are viewed the most. They get the most likes. They get the most shares. Keep your content short. Instead of writing one paragraph, keep it to 1 or 2 sentences. Less is more. And also have a call to action. If you do a post, make sure you add your website link or add your phone number or your email so people can contact you for more information. And most importantly, check your spelling and grammar. And I've had this happen to me all the time. It still happens to me once in a while. We're only human, right? But it's always good to have a quick scan over before you click that send or that post button to make sure that everything is checked over quickly before. If you make a mistake in Facebook, I love how Facebook can let you edit a post if you make a mistake and you notice it later. When to post? Well, this is the magical number. If I knew this, I'd be making a lot of money because every marketer wants to know when is the best time to post because nobody really knows. It's a guessing game. Do you want to post in the evenings or the weekends or at lunch, what have you? It's really noticing which posts get the most. So really just observing. But keep these few things in mind. Post engagement rate on Facebook is high within the first 5 hours of the post being live, meaning that it's in people's news feeds because people are scrolling. People will only scroll back so far and before they skip over it. As well, Facebook has this wonderful thing called an algorithm where if you have 100 followers and you do a post, not all 100 followers are going to be seeing that post. It's unfortunate because Facebook would like for you to pay for that post, which is another webinar altogether. So here we go. Post when your audience is active online. So you'll just have to really watch. For the magic numbers and how many times a week to post, I get asked this all the time. And truthfully, no marketer really knows the magic formula. It's really going by what your skills and abilities are and your time and resources that you have on hand. It could be 3 to 5 times a week. Maybe it's once a week. But make sure it's consistent and where people can come online. Maybe you'll only want to post on Mondays or Wednesday afternoons. It's really what you're comfortable in doing. Ongoing management. So where to find content ideas. This is another thing. This stumps so many people, but it doesn't stump me. But I love finding content because content is everywhere. Because we need lots of it and lots of it. Well, here's how to find it all. You need to listen and observe. So look, always be on the lookout. That's what I recommend. Read the paper, watch TV, look at the internet. There's inspiration everywhere. It's just actually knowing where to look. Have your team, have your coworkers always on the lookout to help you. Make it a meeting agenda item so when you get together, when you do your round table on what everybody is up to, I find these meetings so valuable and important because you know what's happened. Maybe someone did a really great presentation, or maybe somebody met with a client who was very inspirational. There could be a profile. There's so many wonderful ideas out there. Have a look at trends as well and what's popular. Also, as I mentioned a minute ago, if someone made a presentation, pull out the good points from that PowerPoint and create some short posts and share them with images. And it's just wonderful that you can get from one presentation, you can probably get a good 10 to 20 posts depending on the length of that PowerPoint. Think out of the box. Share random tips, as I mentioned earlier. Because there's so much noise, make sure the tips are helpful and educational. Look at the calendar. There's upcoming holidays, there's special events. Maybe you have a recipe to share. Maybe you may want to look at another organization that could be like a competitor or another region. Maybe you'll get some inspiration from their posts and what they're doing. Take lots of pictures as well. As I mentioned, posts with images get noticed a lot more. Schedule ahead. It really helps. It takes away the overwhelm. I schedule a month in advance, sometimes 2 months in advance. The generic content looking forward, it's wonderful to know that I have 3 or 4 posts that are coming up in the week ahead, and I don't have to worry about what I'm going to post from one day to the next because it's already scheduled and thought out. I use Hootsuite, or I can directly post from Facebook as well. Just makes it a lot easier. So lastly, remember, it's quality over quantity. Make sure that you're sharing relevant and information that is important to your organization, that it's helpful and informational. Have some fun as well. It doesn't have to be all business all the time. And make sure you have that call to action so people can contact you for more information. So thank you so much for sharing the last few minutes with me. I really appreciate it. I am Maria at sociablemedia.co. Please feel free to contact me if you need any clarification or what have you. It was great to talk to you today. Take care.